Welcome. Let us continue our discussion on the characteristics of fluids in motion. In the previous two video sessions, we familiarized about the description of fluid motion. So you know what is meant by a Lagrangian approach in describing fluid motion, Eulerian approach for the description of fluid motion, and also we got familiarized with the different types of flow, that is classification of fluid flow: laminar, turbulent, rotational, irrotational, steady, unsteady, uniform, non-uniform, etc. So we know what is meant by a laminar flow. So it is also termed as a streamline flow, in which the fluid particles are moving, or the fluid layers can be approximated as fine layers without crossing each other. So in other words, we told there is no appreciable momentum exchange, or there is no substantial momentum exchange between different layers. So it is more pronounced for highly viscous fluids, or fluids which are flowing at a very low velocity. So with that knowledge background, we'll discuss more about types of flow lines. Okay. So in fluid mechanics, we have three types of flow lines, which are path lines, streamlines, and streak lines. So before starting our discussion, you should understand these are all imaginary lines or curves drawn in the flow field. There is no real line like path line or streamline or streak line. These are all imaginary lines which essentially represents the flow patterns. To some extent, you can say all these lines represents flow patterns, especially the streamlines. So let us see one by one. The first is path line. So what is a path line? A diagram is shown here. Path line represents the path of the fluid particle. You see, this represents the path of the fluid particles. So as we have seen, for unsteady flow, what happens, the parameters like velocity keeps on changing. So we always refers to temporal variation of the parameters such as velocity, pressure, density, etc. So t0 is the initial time, t0, then t1, t2 are different time intervals, or you can say 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, etc. The position of the fluid particles keep on changing. In fluid mechanics, we are actually approximating a virtual flow balls, VFB, you can say. That means each fluid element can be approximated as a fluid ball. So if you consider a single fluid particle, it is occupying this position at time t0. After some time, it is occupying this position t1. Then with respect to time, the position of one particle is keep on changing. Similar is the case with other particles also. So here you see 4 particles are shown here: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all these 4 particles keep on changing their positions with time. So if you are connecting the positions of a single particle with respect to time, or according to the time variation, the position of the particles changes. If you are connecting different positions, or if you are taking the locus of different positions of fluid particles, for a single particle you get a path line. This is a path line for this particle, and this represents for another particle, and this curve or line, maybe line or curve, depends upon the flow pattern, represents for another particle. So if you have n number of particles, you have n number of path lines. Okay, so path lines essentially represents the path followed by a particle with time. Okay, so if you have large number of time intervals, essentially the length of the path lines also will be more or large. So that is exactly what is meant by a path line. Okay, then the second type of flow line is very important, that is streamlines. So while discussing about laminar flow, we had coined laminar flow as streamline flow also. So as the name indicates, streamline flow means the flow is having a streamline pattern. That means an ordered pattern. So what is meant by a streamline? So the definition is like this. Again, it is an imaginary line or imaginary curve which is drawn in a flow field. You read it as flow field. It is not a flow file. It is flow field, such that the tangent to this line at any point will give the direction of the velocity vector at that particular point. So each particle has got its own velocity in terms of magnitude and in terms of direction. So it is a vector quantity. So if you position a particular fluid particle on the streamline, and the tangent to the streamline at that particular position will give the direction of the velocity vector of that particular fluid particle. So it may be hard to understand from first reading. So the streamlines can take any positions. Okay, so and also streamlines may be straight, streamlines may be curved, streamlines may be circular, streamlines may be converging, or streamlines may be diverging. So it can take different positions, it can take different patterns also. Irrespective of the pattern, if you locate a particular fluid particle on the streamline, and if you draw a tangent at that particular fluid particle to the streamline, it will give you the direction of the velocity vector at that point. We will discuss more on that. See, this is what is shown here is a streamline pattern over a smooth body. You can take it as an aerofoil. It is a smooth body. Okay, so you see the streamline pattern here. Okay, so here these are all streamlines drawn. For simplicity in understanding, there are 6 streamlines. So this is what is shown here. It is a aerofoil section. So over the aerofoil section, you see the streamlines here. Okay, so if you take a particular point here, okay, and if you are drawing a tangent, at that particular point, that will give you the direction of the velocity vector. Okay, so we know that velocity is a vector quantity. You can resolve the velocity into different directions. Can we resolve the velocity in the direction perpendicular to it? You cannot. You cannot resolve any vector in the direction perpendicular to it, because its component will be 0. So you cannot have velocity vector perpendicular to the tangent to the streamline. That is written here. There is no movement of fluid particles across the streamlines. What does it mean? Along the streamlines, along the tangent to the streamline, it gives the direction of velocity. So there is no component of velocity perpendicular to the tangent to the streamline. If there is no velocity for the particle, perpendicular means what? There is no fluid movement also, because fluid is moving along the streamline, you can say. Two streamlines cannot intersect because there is no cross flow. There is no cross flow of particles across the streamline, so it cannot intersect. So in steady flow, that we will discuss, streamlines are invariant with respect to. So what do you understand by a streamline? It is like this, just consolidating. Streamline is an imaginary line or imaginary curve which is drawn in a flow domain or a flow field. Okay, so each fluid particle on the streamline, if you draw a tangent to the streamline at that particular fluid particle point, it will give you the direction of velocity. So it essentially represents the flow pattern. For example, if you take a nozzle, okay, if you take a nozzle, so it is a converging type of flow happening. The streamlines also will be converging. If you take a constant diameter pipe, streamlines are parallel horizontal lines without touching each other. If you take a rotational flow in a washing basin, generally the streamlines are also circular in nature. So it can take any shape depending upon the flow pattern, and two streamlines cannot intersect, or there is no cross flow in for a set of streamlines. Generally, set of streamlines are termed as stream tube. Straight lines represent the locus of all fluid particles which had passed through a particular point. Okay, so the streak lines also vary with respect to time. Okay, so this is a particular position in the flow domain. You see this rectangle that shows a particular position in a flow domain. So at time t equal to 0, a large number of fluid particles are passing through that particular point. Okay, so after certain time, all these particles will reach different positions because the flow is continuously happening. So at the end of a particular time, for example, at the end of 10 seconds, this blue particle, suppose it reaches here. This green colored particle, it reaches here. A red colored particle reaches here. And the yellow colored particle reaches here. So this was the original station. Then after certain time, all these particles are reaching at different positions. So at the end of that particular time, for example 10 seconds, if you are connecting these particles or if you are connecting the positions of these particles, it will give the streak line at that particular instant of time. Okay, so that is why I told streak lines represents the locus of all particles which had passed through a particular point. Okay, so similarly after another time, for example at the end of 15 seconds, you will have a different profile, suppose a different profile for the streak line. Okay, so the best example what is shown here is a path taken by smoke that is coming out of a chimney. So we have the colored dye experiment which clearly represents streak lines. So if you want to plot the streak lines of all the particles which had passed through a particular point, we want to colorize that particular point by using a dye. Okay, so what happens, each particle passes through that particular point will be having the color of the dye. For example, if it is pink dye, so each particle will be having that color. Okay, so at the end of 15 seconds, if you see that the profile of the colored particles or the colored lines, if you see the profile, that will give you the streak line. Okay, so it is called colored dye experiment. So that is for better understanding. So what we have learned is that path lines exist, streamlines exist, and streamlines represents the velocity vector and streak lines represent the locus of the particle which had passed through a particular point. Okay, so now we will discuss more on these lines, especially the streamlines. And as I already told, streamline is very important because it represents the velocity of the fluid particle and it also represents the flow patterns. So tangent to the streamline at any point give you the direction of the velocity vector. Okay, so how to mathematically represent a streamline? So what is the equation of a streamline? It is derived as, so you may learn this in Cartesian coordinate system. The equation of the streamline is dx by u equal to dy by v equal to dz by w. So where u, v and w represent the respective components of velocity along x, y and z directions. Okay, so you have the continuity equation. So we will discuss about the continuity equation also. Continuity equation means equation of continuity that has to be satisfied for a flow to happen or the flow to exist. Continuity equation is nothing but the law of conservation of mass. So here we have to club or we have to discuss equation of streamline along with the continuity equation. So what is the equation of streamline? Dx by u equal to dy by v equal to dz by w. So if you want to sketch or if you want to find an equation for the streamline, you can use this general equation, and based on the mathematical equation you are getting, you can plot the streamlines also. For example, if the streamline equation is y square equal to 4ax, obviously we know that the streamlines are parabolic in nature. Okay, and now we have large number of streamlines existing in a flow field. Okay, so collection of streamlines, it is an arbitrary concept. Collection of streamlines is termed as a stream tube. Okay, so why it is termed as stream tube? What is meant by a tube or a pipe? If you take a tube or a pipe, there is no lateral flow. That means flow is happening from one end of the tube to the other end. Only linear flow or linear movement of particles happens. There is no lateral flow because from a tube you cannot have the fluid particles coming out through the lateral dimension or through the lateral direction. only linear direction flow is happening. So the same principle is applied here to define stream tube, because in the previous slide we have seen there is no flow across a streamline. Okay, there is no flow across a streamline. So set of streamlines or a collection of streamlines mimic a tube like setup and also known as stream tube. So there is no flow across a streamline, and hence it can be approximated as a pipe. Okay, that is written over here. And for clarity, you see this is what is shown in blue color. This is a streamline. Okay, this is a streamline. What is shown in blue color is a streamline. So if we take this particular position which is occupied by a fluid particle, we want to get the velocity of the fluid particle at this particular red marked point. What will we do? We have to draw a tangent. That tangent is marked there. It is an arrow, represents the this is the tangent. So another point is here. You draw the tangent to the streamline. So this represents the direction of the velocity vector. You take another point here. Okay, we want to find out the direction of the velocity vector. What you will do? You draw a tangent to the streamline. So this represents, this black arrow represents the velocity vector at that particular point. So instantaneous local velocity vectors can be drawn, okay, for various particles which are occupying positions on the streamline. The only thing is the instantaneous local velocity vectors are along the tangents. That is very clearly shown in this example, in this diagram. Okay, that means you have a streamline, you draw the tangent to the streamline, that will give you velocity vector. So the collection of streamlines, as I already told, it is called a stream tube. So this is a representation of a stream tube. Okay, just like a three-dimensional structure, you see. These are all streamlines. These blue curves are streamlines. Okay, so V1, V2, V3 represents the respective instantaneous local velocity vectors. Okay, because they are along the tangent to the streamline at the respective point. So flow is just like entering here and leaving at the other end. There is no cross flow. There is no cross flow. Okay. So this is a stream tube. So the stream tube is just like a tube like structure that is carrying water or the fluid from one end and leaving at the other end. So it has got a discharge, you can say. You can say it has got a discharge. And we will also study each streamline has got its own equations, because equation of streamline already we have discussed here. So each streamline has got its own equations that represents the flow pattern also. Okay, and now for your understanding, I have plotted here, I have collected here some flow patterns, or these flow patterns represents the streamlines also. So this is a streamline set. If suppose you have a ball or a solid object in a flow field, see the streamlines are taking a diverted pattern like this. Okay, these are the streamlines in this case. Take another case. This is horizontal streamlines. You see large number of horizontal streamlines similar to a steady uniform flow that is happening through a constant diameter pipe. Maybe it is a rotational flow. Streamlines are circular in nature. This is another pattern for the streamlines. Another pattern, you see streamlines about an aerofoil section already we have discussed. You see this particular profile of the streamlines in this case. This is another case, another flow pattern. We have source and sink flow. So in that case it can be the streamline pattern. So this may be another one, because in turbulent flow you have got a different streamline pattern. Okay, it is completely chaotic in nature. In streamline flow you have more or less ordered flow that is happening. So depending upon the type of flow, you have the corresponding flow patterns, and the flow patterns can be easily identified based on the streamline profile. Okay, so that is what I intend to tell you. And as I already told, we have to discuss this streamlines or the equation of streamlines along with the continuity equation. Okay, so what is a continuity equation? You know that continuity equation is nothing but law of conservation of mass. So what is law of conservation of mass? Mass In this case, fluid mass cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Okay, so the mass of flow rate of fluid entering into a fluid system is equal to the rate of mass outflow, provided there is no generation of mass inside the flow system. That is called a law of conservation of mass. So what is coming into the fluid domain will be discharged out, in simple sentence. So this is a fluid domain. You see, it has got that particular shape has got two areas. This is enlarged area, this is small area. So area A1, here it is area A2. You have respective velocities V1 and V2. Okay, and this shows the streamline pattern also. Okay, so how do we apply law of conservation of mass here for this particular system? So the total mass flow rate of fluid entering from through this area will be equal to the outflow rate of mass from the area A2. So what is the mass flow rate that is entering? You know that mass flow is density into volume. Okay, density into volume. So mass flow rate in equal to mass flow rate out. So density into volume. So how to get volume of flow entering? Volume is area into displacement. So volume flow rate is area into displacement by time, or area into velocity. That is shown here. Density into volume flow rate. Volume flow rate is area into velocity. So rho AV in, that is influx mass flow rate, that is equal to rho AV out, that is outflow mass flow rate. So for an incompressible flow, because we are dealing with liquids, so for an incompressible flow, density is a constant. So you can write AV in equal to AV out, that is inlet area multiplied by velocity of flow at inlet, A in V in, equal to outlet area multiplied by velocity of fluid at outlet. Here it is A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. Okay, so that is a simple representation. In Cartesian coordinate system, you can derive, we will derive this equation later. The continuity equation in three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, it is dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by dou z equal to 0, where u, v and w are the respective velocity components in x, y and z directions. So condition for a flow to become possible is it should satisfy the continuity equation, because it should satisfy the law of conservation of mass, or it should satisfy the continuity equation. So if we are given a particular flow field, we have to first check whether the flow pattern or the flow field given is possible or not. How do we check it? So we check it by using the three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system for the equation of continuity. And once it exists, flow field exists, we go for finding out its velocity, acceleration, streamline pattern, etc. So equation of streamlines and equation of continuity are closely associated with, and it should be learned together. Okay, we'll discuss more on the stream tubes, stream functions, etc. in the next video session. Thank you.